The Pandorica opens and the Big Bang. 5 out of 10. The series story arc of the Crack in Time finally culminates in the most ambitious story of recent years. The mysterious Pandorica, similar to the mythical Pandora's box, is fabled to contain the most evil force to ever exist. In reality, though, it is a trap for the Doctor, a prison created by a league of his most feared enemies, such as the Daleks, Cybermen, Sontarans, who foresee that his travels will ultimately destroy the universe. To assist the Doctor and Amy is River, who tracks them down through space and time. The trap is guarded by Roman autons, including a robot Rory, who has inexplicably fallen through time, recreated by the subconscious of Amy, who has forgotten him since he ceased to exist in cold blood. There are some great scenes in this first half, such as the Doctor addressing the thousands of spaceships from his oldest and greatest foes. Matt Smith does this with such an authority that belies his years, and it's up there with the greatest speeches from the show as a whole. As the first half closes, the Doctor is imprisoned by the Pandorica, seemingly destroying all of time and space. Amy is shot by the unwilling Auton Rory, and darkness descends over the universe. As cliffhangers go, it doesn't get much bigger than this. As the second half begins, we are now in an alternate reality where history is collapsing, with the Doctor in the middle of the implosion. The stars have gone out and whole races are being wiped out. Rory and the Doctor try to resurrect Amy using traces of her DNA preserved by the Pandorica, I think. They put Amy in the Pandorica, where she awakens nearly 2,000 years later to meet her young self. See the 11th hour. Rory stays and guards the box for the full 2,000 years, showing the true extent of his love for her. Aww. They all come back together to see the future Doctor get killed. They have to save him. Then the Doctor uses the Pandorica to fly into the heart of the TARDIS, exploding at every point in time in order to reboot the whole of time, creating a Big Bang 2. Again, I think this is what happens. But ultimately, writing him out of time, at least long enough for him to go backwards and say goodbye. Very sweet, but I'm so confused by this point. In the end, Amy remembers the Doctor at her wedding, and he returns to reality through her memory, and all is restored. To be honest, whilst I really admired the breadth of the serial and the writer's aim to stretch the boundaries and possibilities of the show, for me personally it was all a bit too much. I didn't have a clue what was going on for most of the time, and I lost a lot of connection with the story. The whole idea of history being totally rebooted seemed rather far-fetched and overreaching too, and created all sorts of questions with potentially disappointing answers. I mean, does this mean that all the Doctor's adventures from before now have never happened? It does create a nice continuity get-out, however, as the show is now operating in a completely different reality to our own. See, this is what this sort of serial does to my tiny brain. I have to admit, I had to use Wikipedia to understand most of this double-parter, and I'm pretty sure I've got most of the details wrong, so it might be best worth you going and watching it yourself and making up your own mind. This is a real shift for the show, taking it in a new and very complex direction that I much less prefer to the whimsical fairy tale beginnings of the season. This, coupled with an annoying River and an increasingly annoying Amy, made this a far less satisfying series ender than the previous one. Whilst most fans will no doubt love this one, it really wasn't my cup of tea. As a first series, however, I have to commend the writers for introducing the new Doctor with some pretty awesome serials overall, such as The 11th Doctor, Amy's Choice, The Hungry Earth, Cold Blood, and Vincent and the Doctor, and it's exciting to see where the show will go next.